Good morning, folks. How are we all today? I'll get Facebook on board and then I'll get Mulligan in. I've stuffed him in the green room to get through this bit without any interruptions. Anyway, how are we all this morning? I hope we're all well. As we said to you yesterday, different format today. We're going to bring Mulligan in. He hasn't seen the headlines. We'll put up the headlines, get his response. I'll read out what I've wrote about the headline and then we'll move on to the next one. Okay. So that'll be the format this morning. And then we've got a wee announcement at the end of the programme, so stick around. Right, that's Facebook on board, so I guess we better let Grumpy into the programme. Right then, Mr. Mulligan, in you come.
He's a cheeky bastard. I love him in bits. He's my partner in treason, but he's a fucking cheeky bastard.
Practice.
Right, come on with it.
This is my fucking show. I haven't started. I'll put you back in the fucking green room in a minute, boy. Anyway, it's Indy Truck Davy plus the other one out the truck and at home in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where it's a nice morning. Not bad.
Doing this.
And 4 degrees. That's the weather for Salisbury, North Lanarkshire. If you want to know what the weather's like where you are, look out, your ain't bloody windy. Or in Mulligan's case, look out, it's bloody windy. Right, first up this morning, folks, we'll get the Scotsman. I'll pop her up. Yeah, if we can find the bloody thing. Yeah, let's go to the other end. Don't start, Mulligan, it's not as easy as you fucking think. No. And here we go. Oil spill fears after ship and tanker collide in North Sea. One person missing from cargo ship, which was travelling from Grangemouth. Well, actually, the cargo ship wasn't travelling from Grangemouth, it was travelling from... Where was the cargo ship travelling from, Mr. Million?
Rotterdam.
It was travelling to Rotterdam from?
From Grimsby.
Grimsby, there you go. So, the Scotsman, the headline rang right away, David.
Yeah, the crashed yesterday, but the problem is the containers that were on board the cargo ship were containing a particular type of cyanide that, when mixed with seawater, is disperses over the
headline.
Sorry?
What's that going to do with this headline?
It's oil spill.
That's not further in when we get to your whatever comes up. The headline is 2 ships banged after each other.
And the fact that there'll be an oil slick on the beach for 20 miles of it or something like that. Forget.
Aye, something like that, but that's not what the headline says. I'm here with the headlines, boy. Next up is the Rancid. And I'll tell you what the Rancid says, folks, because we don't put it up. And it's jet fuel tanker blaze disaster at sea. Not much to say about that, is there?
No, not really. Not
it's
really.
Just a follow-up to the previous paper. The Times has eco-disaster. A face after ships collide in North Sea. Toxic chemical threatens rare habitat.
Yes, that's right. So this particular cyanide, when mixed with salt water, is particularly bad to aquatic wildlife, but also they reckon the proximity of the ships to the shore may pose some kind of a threat to people that live actually on the coastal regions.
Well, you know what I thought when I read that headline, David? I'll read you what I wrote when I read that headline. I said, why worry? The shit in their waterways for the water companies anyway is killing rare habitats. So what the fuck? Cyanide shite, what's the difference? You know,
as Billy Connolly would say, oh, munchy crunchy.
What's more interesting was the byline. Now, the byline in the Times was more interesting because it says Spain billion now to put UK on war footing, Starmer told. What do you make of that?
Yeah. I'm taking my lead from Macron. Macron's far more important than Starmer will ever be, and Starmer is just a patsy. That's all he is.
Well, I actually, David, because I do this every day, was looking at the language of the byline, and I thought that's interesting. Starmer told. Shouldn't that say Starmer advised?
Yes.
He's the PM. He's supposed to be the highest honcho in the fucking kit. You know, he's supposed to be the head honcho. So who's supposed to have a power to tell him? Surely that should say advised. Or is the language being used quite correct? Is there somebody telling Starmer what to do? Could it be the Israel lobby which owns his front bench?
Yeah, it's operatives in Mossad who have.
I'm looking at the language, David.
Right, go on.
Language is very important. Starmer told. The question then in everybody's mind is going to be told. Shouldn't that be advised? And if it's not advised, who is instructing our PM should be the question people are fucking asking.
Yeah.
Right, so it's very interesting. Right, let's move on to the aisle, put it up. Had to be the last one, didn't it? Right, here we go. Jet fuel spill into North Sea. Oil tanker burning off East Yorkshire coast after collision. And fireball. That's dramatic.
Yes. Well, the first thing I've got to say about it is the fact that it came from Grangemouth and it's carrying jet fuel, and Rachel Reeve basically gave Laura Kuenssberg a bit of a body swerve regarding producing jet fuel at Grangemouth, saying that effectively saying no, we're not doing it, or we can't do it, or it'd be too expensive, or whatever, right? And here we see a tanker loaded full of jet fuel burst into the North Sea, and it's from Grangemouth. What the?
Well, actually, David, they've covered it. Anyway, next up is the scum, and as you know, I don't put the scum up. And that is North Sea disaster hellfire. And the image on the front page is the same as on the rest of the front pages. Ship on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, the Metro has, and I'm not putting that up either, fireball as chemical cargo ship hits tanker. Main headline, catastrophic. Pollution fear as jet fuel pours out into North Sea. But 37 survive. Inferno.
Yeah, it's all the thousands of birds and fish that are going to die, and the people that fish in that area, they might want to get what's down at the bottom. So in other words, a lot of them are lobster fisher or whatever, right? Or shellfish, and the fine it's down there, but it's actually bringing it up through the fuel.
Pull it through it, so there's nobody doing any fishing in it for a while. Right? Yep. Next up, the Daily Fail. Let's see what the Daily Fail's got for us today. And the Daily Fail has, how did ship carrying sodium cyanide plough into tanker full of US Navy jet fuel in broad daylight?
US Navy jet fuel? Fuck off.
Well, I tell you they had it covered, didn't I? They had room to lose back. Anyway, the main headline here is more interesting, David, and that is class war. Now terrified teachers call for self-defence lessons amid rising tide of violence in Scotland's schools.
What a nonsense. The English schools are far worse, sorry, and kids will be kids.
I don't know about the English schools, but if you watch this programme, David, you'll see this is the sort of thing where I go and dig up the stats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got some stats for the people out there. Around 38% of teachers experience verbal abuse in any given week. And this was in 2023, these figures are from. Okay. Yeah. 44% have witnessed pupils fighting with each other in class or around the school in any given week. 3% of teachers were threatened by pupils in any given week. 3% of them were also threatened with weapons by pupils in any given week. And on a scale of 1 to 5, Scotland schools rate at 2 for violence, which is quite low. Okay? And I don't know why they're using a scale of 1 to 5, but they are. And the other thing in the report was teacher confidence in dealing with disruptive pupils. And that's also in a scale of 1 to 5, David. And Scotland's teachers are up there in 4 and 5 on confidence, with 84% of them saying they were quite confident in how they handle unruly pupils. But that leaves the 12% who are getting the verbal abuse and the 12% who are getting threatened. And maybe they need a wee bit more training, and maybe their classroom skills might need looked at.
The wrong kind of person to be in that situation if that's the case.
Well, as I say, the stats don't bear out this increased violence. It's just there is an undercurrent of violence, which isn't any unusual for what it was when we were at school, except for the one difference is the introduction of weapons.
Yeah, that's true. That is absolutely bang on. It's the introduction of weapons that's the bad thing.
Well, as I say, that's the sort of headline that Davey likes, so I went and had a look at stats, folks. So,
it's simple. It's simple. Put a doorway, one of the doorways to detect metal items going through the school door, similar as that, and everybody enters via that.
I guess everybody will need to have pencils with nail head in it then, eh?
Correct.
Anyway, let's move on. The Herald has. We'll get it up. This one fucking cracks me up and all. Well, I like a good crack up. University faces single-sex staff space legal challenge.
Oh, flipping heck, here we go again. Right. Yeah, wasn't this what John Swinney was on about yesterday?
I don't know, but what it tells me in the article when I read it was that Edinburgh University tells staff in a letter to use toilets that depict the gender they identify as.
Yeah.
And of course, that would be the guidance being offered by the employer.
Isn't that the common sense thing? Look, if you're somewhere in between, then you need to choose one of those doors to go through. As simple as that. We're not gonna identify you permanently by that number, by that figure, but you're gonna have to use the toilet somewhere. So make your mind up.
Well, obviously, university is quite old, so we'll have male and female toilets, but the BBC have the answer to this problem. They have gender-neutral toilets.
Yeah. All right.
Simple as that.
And as you've mentioned in the past, rather than have the cubicles where you've got a hole underneath and a hole above, do floor to ceiling. Simple as that.
Yep. Right, next up we've got the Loony Rag, the Express. I'll put it up. I did say I was going to put a lot of these up today, because you're here. Batten your marks. Chris Hoyt sets off with the Royal Baton to go around the colonies, inviting the colonies to sport.
It's Commonwealth Day, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it's the setting off of the baton race to take the invite from colony to colony to invite the colonies to the Scottish colony for Sports Day.
Yes, I know. All right. But don't forget what, is it today or yesterday was Commonwealth Day anyway?
I couldn't tell you, and I really don't care.
So it's all tied up together.
Oh,
King Big Ears did his radio show and all sorts. So.
Don't know anything about it. You know more about it than me. Anyway, the Telegraph's up next, so we'll pop it up. New laws to speed up wind farm rollout.
No, don't know that one. We talked about yesterday one of the wind farms in the border area of Scotland.
Aye, but this This is about England, believe it or not, David. It's a Tory graph.
Yes.
You know, and
yeah.
apparently Labour are about to run. Nationalists, are conspiring with Labour to ride roughshod over local opinion, says Tories. Well, I suppose it's relevant because the Scottish Government have called in the borders thing.
Yeah.
The other headline there, Trump set to lift Ukraine weapons ban as soon as today. Don't know if I believe that. And full play not ruled out after US oil tanker crashes in North Sea. But the US tanker didn't crash, it was stationary. It was a anchor.
That's right.
So there's another fucking false headline, folks. These headlines like that are meant to generate fear.
Yesterday I was looking at, and it was a bit confused, mind you. The information that was coming out was that it was the Stena Immaculate was actually a cargo ship, and it had hit an oil tanker. In actual fact, it turns out the Stena Immaculate was the oil tanker.
That's right. But as far as we know, the oil tanker was actually an anchor riding out of some rough weather before it was making the crossing to Rotterdam.
In actual fact, no. It was waiting for high tide.
Was that what it was? Anyway,
I've read it because that's where the big bar is, but for the
sandbar.
The sandbar is, and they've got to wait for high tide.
I'm going by what the information that I was getting for the Coast Guard just.
Yeah.
I didn't bother with the rags. You know me, David. Coast Guard, that was the best place to go.
David, in a situation like that, knowing that kind of minutiae is insane. So don't worry about it.
As I say, but as you know, when you and I were talking about it, I was looking it up to get the proper information, and I went to the Coast Guard. You were reading it for Sky and BBC, and I was getting it for the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Because that's the right place to fucking get it for.
Yeah. But right. Even if the time didn't have the right information.
Right, next up in Arsenal. Let's put it up. The Stars are crackers of the day, David, so don't you bloody spoil it. Or Alistair will be after you. Right, the National has Flynn Corbyn lent support to our fundraiser, STUC and Major Pledge. Comment why we at Medical Aid for Palestine need your help. So the National's running a fundraiser to raise money for medical aid for Palestine.
Yeah.
Good thing to do. And then despicable. 5 Scottish Labour MPs. Let me correct that bit right away. 5 Scottish Red Tories. Including former Better Together chief Blair McDougall, under fire for joining group backing welfare cuts. Sarwar's urged to break his silence and speak out after no austerity promise at election.
Well, the Blair McDougall, I'd love to see that smirk ripped right off his face.
Well, I always remember he joined the Labour Party because Blair McDougall was an arch fucking Tory.
Yeah, that's right.
And he'd conservative leanings back when you and I were having dealings with him back between 12 and 14.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that he's seen the Labour Party move so far to the right that he thought, this is the party for me now. You know, very interesting indeed. And then the bottom bit, SNP Chief Executive handed role on permanent basis. Let me fix that headline and all. SNP Interim Chief handed role on permanent basis. Oh, right. I mean, some of the stuff in the papers today is absolutely mental. But that one, the one in the Express, batting your marks. I mean, only a knuckle-dragging Daily Express reading fucking loonball could understand that headline.
Yeah.
The rest of us who speak a decent language to a decent level and read and write to a decent level wouldn't understand the Daily Express headline. Right. But I say the use of language in our national papers is atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very combative. We'll take that down. And now for the highlight of the day. The highlight of every day.
I'll just shut up. I won't say a word on this one. I'll let you do that.
Yeah, man, I need to shrink this back so it fits a page. Okay. Right, Alistair. You're going to love this one. You're going to love it, mate. This one is just for you, my friend. I phoned the star up and says, Alistair's getting pissed off. Get us a boff story. So we have a boff story today, Alistair. Here we go. And the Daily Star has boffs, psycho scumbag bots and web takeover. AI kills the net. Now, I need to blow this up and read the next part. It saves me floating down. AI bots will soon take control of the internet and fill it with so much tech gobbledygook that simple humans will no longer be able to understand it, says Boffs. And that's Boffs with an S at the end. So there's more than one Boffin's opinion here, Alistair. You've struck gold today, sir. Now that's a Star headline. That's the sort of headline we like in the Star, David. So it's what you have to say to that. That's a bloody marvellous headline. Psycho AI takes over Tinternet. Hey, there's a better one a couple of weeks back. Apparently they're going to start building themselves into mobile beings and come after us all. Gotta love a good bot program, a good bot headline.
Yeah, right. News headlines that you haven't seen, right? And I'm going to quickly mention it. No, just one main one, and I want you all to consider that.
And you're assuming I haven't seen it.
Elon Musk has just bought CNN.
Elon Musk has just bought CNN.
Yeah.
You're right, I haven't seen that.
$3 billion he paid for it.
Take over.
And there's journalists, mainstream journalists all over America are blooming having kittens.
I dare say there'll be a few getting sacked and all, because they won't be towing the Trump line.
Yep.
Right, well, that's an interesting development. The CNN being taken over by Musk. So I guess that'll be deteriorating to the quality of Fox News.
Yeah. And Oprah Winfrey is a very, very long-running show. She's binned it because this news of Musk buying CNN, and she's moving to Italy. She can't stand to breathe the same air as them. There you are, fine.
Fair enough. There you go. I never seen that. Hey, I never seen that in any newspapers here. Don't bring your shit to my show.
Have a look.
You're here to review newspapers, boy. Didn't get to fucking odd after Thursday. I like your own show.
With regard to Elon Musk and the lady Oprah Winfrey, we can say to him, because it's South African, say, "How do you take your coffee?" "I take it black, like my woman." There you go. Yeah.
None of that shite in my show, boy.
Hey, I tell you what, seriously. See Musk, see anybody in South Africa, the family's been there for a lot of years. White, they were racist, big style.
You mean where? Oh.
Yeah. Well, I don't know now, but I know then they were.
We've got homework then. They're definitely fucking racist.
Yeah.
And he's definitely a Nazi as well.
I don't like Musk. I do not like Musk.
I don't like talking about things that don't relate to my headline show.
Okay.
I've told you on the way in the door. Stick on the screen. Or you're out the door.
Hey, listen. If you can't get all the news headlines in, that's your fucking fault.
It's not in any of your papers, David. I do a newspaper review. You want to review what the TV news is saying. Start your own programme. I'm sure everybody would watch it, wouldn't we, folks? Well, everybody except for me, right enough. Because you don't watch my show. Nah. Anyway. I know that's an interesting piece, but we should get by Thursday, David.
Yeah, okay. Another one is another newspaper to actually pick up on, because there are a few interesting articles coming from the Times at the moment. They're all wrong, but they're all wrong for the wrong reasons. They're not. I don't think it's the Times are trying to pull the wool over your eyes. It's the people that they're interviewing are pulling the wool over your eyes.
Times Radio.
No, Times newspaper.
I wouldn't know. I'm not only doing the headlines, David, but as you know, I'm subscribed to the Times group. So, but the opinion pages are not really my thing.
Yeah.
And as you know, when I read the articles, I go and have a wee look at the backgrounds because I never believe it I see in the press.
Well,
Right, folks, I said at the beginning there would be an announcement today.
Yeah.
At the end of the show. So, David, you can tell them.
Right. Okay. We'll come up on this. This will be 3 years that the channel has been open. And on Thursday, what we're going to do is, rather than having a format of different stories to give you, what we're going to do is we're going to ask you guys to contribute. So in other words, you ask the questions, whatever, right, and we will answer them, right?
Right, so how it's going to go on Thursday, folks? Thursday, 4 o'clock, we'll be celebrating 3 years on air.
Yeah.
Or 3 years of hosting the programme.
Yeah.
And we're going to leave it open for a Q&A for you guys. You can ask us anything, except for what colour our underwear is and what time we go to bed at.
The lottery numbers we've got, so don't worry about that. You know, if you want the lottery numbers, we're your guys, definitely.
Right. Right. Now, I'm off to Bailison. I've got the 250 quid to transfer to food stuff.
Good.
I'll be when I get back, I'll be contacting Allo again. They were supposed to phone me yesterday and didn't. And I'm not expecting to hear from Alva until Friday. They're only open 1 day a week.
Right.
But I was looking for independence, and you know, when you're looking for independence, it's difficult. The Trussell Trust have got most of the market sewn up when it comes to food banks, you know.
Yeah.
So that'll be it. I'm going to get my shoes on and I'm going to head into town after I fill out the declaration saying that I'm not transferring the money under coercion. I need to fill these forms out before I get into the bank because the wee woman keeps telling me off because I'll go in without them and she's got to fill the form out.
Hang on, Mad Monk, I've got a question. What rabbit hole does Mr. Milligan use for his headlines?
That's the question I often ask as well, because that's why I'm a straight guy. I'm on the straight arrow.
Mad Monk, I'll give you it now. It's like I go down the rabbit hole and I come out the far end of the field.
He did what happens is he goes arse deep down the rabbit hole, and then Leslie's going to come along and grab his one good leg and yank him fucking back out before he gets too lost. Alright, and in fact, there's the watch will phone me and say, this one's off and one, give him a phone call, I'll get him away for it.
Listen, guys, there is stuff that David and I don't pass to you lot because it would look like we both had jumped down the rabbit hole.
Leslie Milligan is calling. Leslie Milligan is calling.
I need to get this. It's a wife.
Right, well, I'll just say, stick you back in the green room while I wind this man up, David.
Hello.
Right, that's the end of that bloody annoyance for this week when it comes to this programme. We'll do it again next week. We'll give him a chance to pop in and see what he's got to contribute. I hope you enjoyed that today, folks. I have to say, I find it quite stressful. And you never know with Mr. Milligan where he's going to go. Okay, it would appear that Mr. Milligan has been giving you false information, folks. Elon Musk has not bought CNN, a small piece of research done by Bruce Smart tells us. So thanks for that, guys, and I see Mad Monk put the same thing up again. You can rely on me to give to do the headlines, folks. It's fun to have him on, but Jesus, it's hard work. Right, I'll let him in to say goodbye if he's off that bloody telephone. He is. Mr. Milligan.
What's that?
Mr. Milligan, you can apologise for misleading my viewers.
In actual fact, it's amazing. There are several headlines coming out, all point different directions.
Well, you picked the wrong one and you misled my viewers.
No.
Say goodbye, you're off.
There's one regarding Tesla and the fact that Trump is going to buy the Tesla name, a Tesla company, to help Elon Musk out. Why?
That's enough of your rabbit hole shit here. You've just misled my bloody viewers. Apologise and say goodbye till we get happy here.
Right, bye-bye. No apologies. I'm just reading out the headlines. That's all. Same as David does.
Except for I verify the headlines I read out. Right, guys, that's it for the day. Hey, right, you know, if you want to join us on Thursday, I'll send you a link. It'll be at 4 o'clock. Hey, it's always been nice to get a guest on for about 3 years. And maybe get Darren and I'll see if he wants to pop on and make a guest appearance. Anyway, you guys, look after yourself. I've got a bit of banking today. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 10:30 day all again. Be good.